What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Underdog Sports Podcast with Nolan Skian, Salvatore Lustrina, and myself, Antonio Fiore. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Very good, actually. That was really good.
That was pretty good.
You might be on the hot seat, Nolan.
Hey, whatever. So I said all three of us are the hosts, really.
We're switching seats today. Have to. That's
Yeah,
switch
why
up
not?
every once in a
Yeah,
while.
out on a whim. Walked in and saw Nolan sitting there, and I was like, all right, why not?
I was like, I'll just sit here.
Super Bowl.
Super
It
Bowl.
happened, and it was great.
Would we characterize that as a good game? I thought it was a good game.
I thought it was a pretty damn good game.
I honestly was a little bit more entertained than I thought I was going to be.
Yeah, right? So, like, the Rams come out, right? And the Rams, like, I wouldn't say beat up on them, but the Bengals were definitely taken back a step. And then when they come out in the second half and they get that touchdown and they go up, I'm like, okay, this is horny.
They were a little... I don't know. It was like a little bit too big of a moment for them in the first quarter. They kind of got a little overwhelmed. And then once they started getting into the game, it was like kind of like, oh, like Bengals are fighting a little bit. Like,
Which I definitely would expect that.
That Jamar Chase catch was
Yeah.
absurd. That was the second quarter, right? I think it was the second quarter.
Yeah, because it definitely was before they scored.
It was like all happened at once for Cincinnati. I feel like they hit like that big play, and then they were finally back into the game, and then it was just kind of one of those where it snowballed, and they thought they could really compete with the Rams. I think the whole time they did, but really after they hit a couple big plays and put some points on the board, they were like, all right, we can go toe to toe with this team. Odell going out, I thought was going to be the nail in the coffin.
I thought that was going to kill him
for the Rams. He played good while he was in, but then they just focused all their attention on Kupp after that.
It seemed like Odell was poised to have like
a huge game.
Mm-hmm. Like he was
on track,
like the main attraction that whole.
Oh yeah, he was going for 100+ yards easily in that game, maybe even another touchdown.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably another touchdown.
I mean, me and Antonio both said touchdown. We said guaranteed Odell Beckham.
And he did it on the first drive.
I was
so excited.
The fact that he hit it in the first drive too was just like the cherry on top. It's like
the first touchdown.
We said definitively scoring a touchdown. The fact that it was the first touchdown.
Like, see, I told you how guaranteed it was.
It was so
you don't even have to worry about it now.
I mean, I bet it. I bet just Odell touchdown. So.
I think that was probably
I had
the
it with a
easiest
T. Higgins
bet.
touchdown. Pretty good.
T. Higgins played a very phenomenal game too. I mean, everyone played.
We agreed on that too.
Yeah,
right? We all thought T. Higgins.
I like T. Higgins to score. I like Tyler Boyd over yards. There are a lot of props that I think we did pretty good on. I mean, we mainly just said over on everything, but that's how we roll here.
It's the nature of the beast sometimes, you know.
I liked the over in the game in general. I was kind of surprised it wasn't a little bit more high scoring, but. You know, it is the Super Bowl.
I think it definitely could have been. I think it definitely stalled at some points, but
I don't know. It could have been more high scoring, but I don't think that.
I'm not complaining about the points,
I don't
but
think it weighs down the Super Bowl. I think it was a very good Super Bowl. It wasn't high scoring, but it wasn't really a low scoring game, which is kind of it was
tightly fought. Yeah,
it was just a really good.
It was a good Super Bowl. I thought it was a very acceptable Super Bowl.
I
was happy with the game.
How hilarious is it too? And of course, it's like the whole like, oh man in the suit, like whatever. But the Rams were what 4-point favorites, and anyone who bet Cincinnati probably took Cincinnati money line. So everyone who bet Cincinnati money line got screwed. Anyone who bet Rams -4 got screwed.
I was kind of unsure. I think I said last week I didn't totally trust the 4 points for the Rams.
I had no feel for the game, and
I didn't either.
Never at any point was I like. Oh, I really want to bet like the Rams to win by more than 4.
No, I didn't bet a spread. I just said I think the Bengals might cover, but I'm not confident enough to bet that.
I just didn't want to lay the points with either team. I was just more infatuated with all of the props and the shebang.
It's always hard to do that in a Super Bowl, I feel like. It's such a big stage that like anything could happen.
I don't know. Just
I won money on the coin toss.
Yeah?
Sal.
Didn't you say it was tails?
No, I definitely said heads. I
don't remember.
I would never take tails.
Now I don't remember. What was it?
Who had what?
I had heads. I would never take tails.
Did I have tails?
I thought tails won. Or was it
No, heads won.
No, heads won.
Oh.
We'll review the tape.
Okay, apparently we're
Go
not
back
sure.
and review the tape. I don't know though. I remember I said tails.
No, I definitely said tails.
We'll get a
No, I definitely said tails.
I remember
we'll figure
I said
out a not so
tails.
Winston replay of this at some other point.
I owe you $10.
Yeah, I forgot what your bet was. I totally forgot.
I remembered after the
Touchback.
fact it was the touchback.
Oh wow, okay.
I said that there was going to be a touchback.
Of course, that's happened like 4 times in 20-something Super Bowls. In the last like 20-something Super Bowls.
And how crazy was that fact that actually happened? It was like the last 7 teams that have lost or won the coin toss have lost the game.
Yeah, that's a nut stat.
Didn't know that.
No, that's literally a nut stat.
They said it after the coin toss. I was like, is that like true? I was like, that seems ridiculous.
It does seem ridiculous, but somehow it's true. I could not tell you how, but
And the team that wears
white, that always
it's
happens.
15-3 now or whatever.
Oh, God, that's right.
Honestly, like that is just so like auto. Like I feel like I see that stat every Super Bowl. And
Oh, you do.
And it always comes through, I feel like.
yeah.
It's like it's random, but it's not.
It's not random. Weird. No, it's not random. It's every time the team wears white, they always end up winning.
Because it's like, okay, so how do they decide who's home and away?
Is it alternate every year?
It's got to
Like,
be.
does it alternate
because the
NFC?
Bengals,
I would have yeah.
because
The
the Bengals
Bengals were the home team, so it has to be alternate every year because the Bucs were the home team last year, right?
You automatically assume that because it was at their
No,
place,
but I think like actually they were the home team.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Wait, they don't determine it by the Pro Bowl.
Because the Kansas City were
Obviously-
right.
This is not baseball. No,
Obviously, they don't determine it by record. Baseball should still do that. But
my guess is it alternates every year. That would make the most sense. I don't know why it wouldn't be
has
that.
to. That has to be the answer. There's no.
So
There's no
does
other
that
way.
mean the Chiefs were white and they lost?
No, the Bucs were white. Chiefs were red. Chiefs were red at home though.
But I thought the home team won the color or like wore the color.
They do.
Or do they choose? Do they get to?
I think it's probably a choice.
Oh, they get to choose. So why wouldn't you choose white?
Oh yeah, they do. The home team does get to choose their jersey. That's right.
So why don't they just? Well, I would always choose white then
In the Super Bowl, yeah.
because of its record.
The players don't give a
15-3, huh?
The
fuck.
players
I don't think the players give a fuck. I don't think Tom Brady gives a shit.
I mean, what's Tom Brady's record in white?
Probably really good. It's probably very good.
Well,
Like think about his record.
One of them, they
Think about his
definitely lost
record in the
white.
Super Bowl, and then think about how many of those times
He
was
wore
he
white
white.
when he lost to Philly.
Has he worn not white in a Super Bowl? I'm trying to think of one.
All I can remember is white.
I remember they wore white against Seattle.
But they wore white against Philly and at least one of the Giants ones.
They wore white against Atlanta.
No, the Giants wore white.
They wore white against the Rams.
They were blue against
They
the
were
Giants.
blue against the Giants.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they got fucked.
Wow. Wait. So it actually does matter. It matters so much.
So next year we're just betting whoever's wearing white.
How do you think about this stat? I saw this today. It was like 16 of the last quarterbacks to make their Super Bowl debut and lose have never gone back.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's scary. That's a terrifying stat.
And that goes
All right,
all the way back.
all right, over under 0.5 Super Bowl appearances for Joe Burrow.
Now here's where it gets hairy, right? Because I looked at the 16. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Obviously, like Jimmy Garoppolo is one of them. Colin Kaepernick's one.
Yeah,
of them.
there's like some flashes in the pan. They're one-off seasons.
Cam Newton's one of
Yeah.
them. So there's ones that are, but there's also some that were on shitty teams and they got carried there by defense, right? So then there's some of them like that, but then there's other ones that just kind of, it wasn't the beginning of their career. Like Joe Burrow, it's the second year, right? So Joe Burrow's going to be here for a long time.
Well, they'll go back to another one. I definitely.
That's
Over under 0.5. You guys are taking the over.
That's the only
Yeah.
reason why I say yes, because it's his first full year.
And we understand how
league.
good he is, so I can't say no to that.
What if I said over under 1 Super Bowl appearances?
I'd say over.
Still say over. You'll say to push if he gets to 1.
I'll take a push.
Yeah. Push is a 1.
Well, he's already been to one,
I'm saying like after
Yeah.
this.
so he has to get to another one.
Okay, over under 2. Sorry, over under 2 Super Bowl appearances. Joe Burrow.
you could say 1.5.
Well, I'm saying for a push. Like I'm making it like a shitty like.
So he would have to just get to 2.
If
to
he gets to
push.
2, you win your bet. If he gets to 1, you push your bet. Would you be a taker of that bet?
Yeah, I definitely would.
I don't know.
I got what, like 15 years.
The
to
thing,
figure-
yeah. Well, you think that's the other thing.
That's true. He could get hurt.
and I'm
I mean,
not. But Cincinnati and they have the worst offensive line.
He did hurt his knee in the Super Bowl.
bad.
He sprained his MCL. That came out today. He sprained his MCL during the game. I don't know what can you.
Yeah, no, that play looked really. It had to have been on that one play where I thought
He was
where
grimacing
where he
after.
screamed.
Yeah.
I thought he was out for the game.
Yeah.
That looked so bad.
That looked really bad. I was really,
Stafford
really
got hurt
worried.
too during the game,
did.
didn't he?
Yeah, you saw that too. That looked
Really
bad.
bad. But I thought Burrow was fucked.
Why is Aaron Donald talking about retiring?
He's
He
played
was
8
talking
years.
about. I think it was like a spur of the moment thing. He said if they lost, that he would think about retiring.
Oh, if they lost?
Yeah.
I thought he was still talking about it now.
Oh, was he? I don't know.
They
I saw
a-
that.
well, they asked
during
him
the
about
Super
it.
Bowl they said that.
They asked him about it in the post game interview, but he was like, "No, I'm just living in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not worried about that."
How old is he? Is he like
31? Like, he's really 32?
He's been in the league for 8 years.
Yeah, he's been like all defensive
Yeah,
first team
and
every
he's
year.
he's all pro. Like 7 of those 8 years. He's got.
I mean,
an
why
MVP,
not?
a
Your team's.
defensive MVP.
I mean, your team's really good. I guess it depends on who they bring back.
Well, yeah,
next
he
year.
could retire today, and he's honestly like probably top 2 defensive player ever at this point.
Him and L2.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. He's a fucking Coke machine with.
How
legs.
about fucking McVay? Do you guys see them mic'd up? And McVay was like, "Oh, Aaron Donald's gonna make a play right here."
How sick was that? How theatrical William Shakespeare shit was that?
I just think it's so.
hates that.
I just think it's so funny too because it's like their stars came up the biggest in like the moments they needed them. Like Cooper Kupp scored that touchdown and they needed
It's a
it.
team of stars. That's what they're.
But they're like 2 guys. They're like if you think of the Rams, you think of Aaron Donald, and then next you think of Cooper Kupp, or you think of Cooper Kupp and then Aaron Donald, like in that order. And
How about Cooper Kupp? Like his season, holy shit!
best offensive season ever?
Best wide receiver season ever.
I think that's at this point without question. But wasn't last year? Who did we say had the best wide receiver season ever last year? I feel like that's been a thing now for.
Randy Moss 07.
No,
No.
last year.
Somebody had a
Oh, someone-
ridiculous year last year. I forget.
Well,
who it was.
didn't Michael Thomas pop off a couple years ago?
Well, yeah, he set the catches record a few years ago.
Justin Jefferson? Is that what we're
No,
Yeah,
saying?
he had one of the best for a rookie, but I don't think it was him.
Chris Godwin.
No.
Nah, maybe my mind's somewhere else, and
Tyreek Hill?
maybe I am thinking
No,
about.
you're probably thinking
Michael
of
Thomas.
You're probably thinking of Julio from a couple years ago, or Antonio Brown,
I think I
or
was thinking of Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
Well, Michael Thomas, like
Blech.
there was a point
No,
where
I-
Michael Thomas was like the greatest wide receiver ever. It was like a 5-week span. You remember that?
Yeah, he had like
He was
14
ridiculous
catches.
that
every
But it was
game.
literally just because Drew Brees was throwing to him every play.
I mean, if he was still playing, that's what he would do.
Yeah, why not?
Just be a 4-yard slant every play.
I don't know why he went so diva and like disappeared.
He got hurt.
He did get hurt, but like he could have been like so good if he just wasn't such a diva.
Aw.
I mean, same with Antonio Brown, but
Same with Antonio.
yeah, Antonio, I'd still be sitting over there.
What's our big takeaway? Bengals won, Bengals lost, or Rams won the game? What do we think happened?
I gotta say that the Bengals won or the Bengals lost.
Really? I think the Rams took that game. I think the Rams, like, it was back and forth, and their defense came up big when it needed to. I would say the Rams more won the game than the Bengals lost the game.
What would you say, Antonio?
So, would your answer be if the Bengals end up winning the Super Bowl? Do you say
I would say the Bengals ended up winning.
okay?
Only because at that point you scored up to, you went on a minute and 30-second drive to win the Super Bowl, and you scored a touchdown. Now you definitely have to say the Bengals won at that point.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I guess the Bengals were the team to let up the game-winning touchdown, so I guess I would have to go with the Bengals were the ones that lost that game. But actually, yeah, no, I will say that because they lost the game in the trenches on the offensive line and defensive line fight. I mean, I know the Rams have a excellent defensive line, and they really didn't play that well in the first half. The Rams D-line wasn't making that much noise, but
Yeah, I think
the O-line folded in that last quarter there, and that was their biggest criticism the entire year, and that ended up being their downfall. Was their offensive line. That's how they lost.
How many times did Cincinnati go 3 and out in the fourth quarter? Twice or 3 times? Like, I feel like every time they got the ball,
At least twice, yeah.
I think every time they got the ball, no, not every time in the fourth quarter, but I think 2 out of 3 times they did go 3 and out.
Yeah, and the pass
they
rush
did.
most certainly woke up.
there were a lot of points I feel like that you could point out where like Cincinnati made a mistake, and it was either they were trying to look too cute or trying to be too conservative.
On the last drive of the game, what are you doing giving it to P. Ryan on third
third
and
down,
one?
on third and one. And you have Joe Mixon.
Oh,
That was one of the points I was talking about.
oh.
I mean, the refs kind of gifted the Rams a gift there at the end.
There was another spot where they, yeah, that's
that
where
was
they ran
really
the ball.
bad. Did you guys see the replay on that?
Mhm.
That was really bad.
What happened?
It was 3rd and goal. He was trying to force it to Cooper Kupp. Who's 55 on the Bengals? The linebacker there.
Oh, I don't know. his name.
Henderson? Is it
Hendrickson?
Hendrickson?
Sounds right.
It could be him or the other guy I'm thinking of, but he actually made a great play on it and knocked the ball down, and they called it holding.
It wasn't close.
And there was not even a.
Oh yeah,
it
that
wasn't
was a
even
terrible.
close.
yeah,
that
by
was
the
a
goal line.
horrible
So that
call.
that would have been, it would have been 4th and goal for the Rams from like what, the 10 or 11 yard line, and that is a lot different than 1st and goal from the
1 yard line. Yeah.
That's a little bit different. So I would.
It was just so
Yeah, it was bad. That was
strange.
really, really bad.
It was so strange to throw that flag there
because they hadn't thrown
because
flags
all
game.
game you did not see the refs whatsoever.
And I was thinking through the game too. I was like, dude, like this is a really good game because the refs have stayed out of it.
Well, I didn't even
Well,
think.
yeah, well, because they have to remind us that they run the game and they're the center of attention.
yeah, and it got to the end, and I was like, bro, are you serious?
They have to
This
throw
is
a
where
ref
you're
ball
gonna
out
throw it
there at
down.
some point.
This is where we're gonna go.
It is really lame that
Like I gotta show my face.
Well,
Throw a flag.
it's really lame that has to it did decide the game. I don't want to say it didn't decide the game. That play call or that referee call basically decided the game. Like
It did.
It was huge.
so, I don't know for the Super Bowl to basically be flipped on a judgment call. Like
Because you got to think too, right? How much time was left there? Like a minute and
a
a
minute
half?
and 40. Yeah, a minute.
Imagine if there was reviewable pass interference.
Well, yeah. Then they would sit
But
there
it
in the
wasn't
booth
pass
for 10
interference.
minutes.
Well, I was gonna say like they did for 1 year.
Yeah, no, I know. But then
But they wouldn't have been able to review it, though. I'm saying
no, the booth.
Oh, no?
The booth could have. But
it was within 2 minutes, and it wasn't pass interference.
Oh.
well, yeah. If it wasn't
That was
PI,
a
then no.
holding, right.
Yeah, defensive holding they can't review. But regardless, it's still. I mean, the refs have to just call it as they see it, but. To have your season basically, I can't even say it ended because they still had a chance to go back down and score on the final drive. So,
And on
And,
that same play too, did you see the replay of that also? The Rams had a false start. Like
oh yeah, they too. Both their tackles false
But
started.
on that play that they called the holding.
yeah,
on,
they both false started on that play. Both their left and their right tackle false started.
like it was bad. It was really bad. So they missed that, and then they call basically nothing.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Also, the last play at the 4th down where Burrow got nearly sacked, but he got rid of the ball. Last play of the game, the Burrows had enough. The Bengals had enough. The Burrows.
The Burrows.
they are the Burrows at this point.
Yeah, they should.
Maybe the angle was just like weird with how it was in the TV because like.
But he
here's
almost
Pirine,
got the
here's
ball.
and here's it was almost like if Pirine dove, I feel like he had a shot.
That kind of reminds me of the Gronkowski play in 2011, the Hail Mary against the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, he was hurt.
No, I know, but like.
If he could get
Yeah,
get
the
up a
ball
little
like
more.
kind of like fell really slow, and you saw it, and you were like,
Yep.
"Yo, just dive for it!" Like that's exactly how I felt with
That
P.
was the
Ryan.
like watching that. That was like the longest, like shorter than a second moment I've ever had in my
Mm-hmm.
life. That ball falling down in the end zone, slow motion.
Slow motion.
The thing that killed me was it like tipped around it a little bit in the end zone
It
too.
did.
It like took like one little tip and then it fell down, and I was just like,
Until I saw the players start going like this,
Yeah.
I was like,
"Oh, yo." I don't know. The P Ryan 3rd and 1 is like just the worst thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I'm trying to think of the word. Incomprehensible. Incomprehensible. I don't know.
It was irresponsible.
Indefensible.
Oh, yeah. It was
Indefensible.
irresponsible.
On Zach Taylor to call that play.
Indefensible. I mean,
I feel like there were a
How
lot of times where
irresponsible.
Zach Taylor called a play where he thought it was going to catch them off guard, like, but it just didn't end up working.
I mean, third-
when he had the trick play with Mixon throwing the touchdown.
yeah, that was a good play.
that was a good play. But then after that, he was like, "Look at me," because I thought the Rams were gonna do some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
tried to throw a wheel route out to like the third running back.
I
And
thought
he
the
like couldn't catch it.
oh, I know.
No, it's to Stafford, wasn't it? Or are you talking
No,
about the
this
Bengals?
was the third string running back for the Bengals. What's his name?
Evans.
Yeah, Chris Evans. He's got the same name as Captain America.
What are you looking for?
I thought the Rams were gonna run the ball more too.
They couldn't really get it going.
I think it's funny that you said that because in the whole second half, all they did was run the ball. In the first half, they were trying to air it out with Odell. Then, as the second half came, they were just trying to run the ball every play.
I was surprised how much they tried to get Henderson involved. I kind of like forgot about him.
Yeah, he was catching passes left and right for no reason, just like out of the blue.
Before he
Just
got hurt, I thought
Yeah.
he was very good.
And like Cam Akers, like it seemed like he was the story going into the Super Bowl.
oh my god, why did we not hammer Sony Michel under whatever it was 8.5 longest reception?
Well, we said like there's no way.
There was no way he was
We
doing
were
that.
scared.
No,
Sonny
yeah, we
Michel
were.
is
so
like
scared.
Sony Michel's disgusting. He's actually bad, dude.
I'm all set with Sony Michel. I've been all set with Sony Michel. I'm honestly happy for the Rams organization and for Matt Stafford though. Like,
Yeah.
I think Stafford is probably the most deserving, or if not the most, one of the most deserving people to get a Super Bowl title. I mean, you
Totally agree.
You play in Detroit for however many years, you get your ass kicked, you have no hope, and then finally you go to an organization that cares about you and knows what they're doing, and they end up winning a Super Bowl. So good for Stafford and good for the Rams, honestly.
Von Miller gets another ring.
So he could go down as like a top.
He's a top 10 defensive
10,
player
yeah, I
right
was gonna
now,
say top 10, top
I think
15.
so.
Because I don't think we see it enough now, but when he was on the Broncos, they had a scary defense, and he was unstoppable.
That
he was Aaron
2015
Donald.
one.
That was
before
one of the
Aaron
best.
Donald.
That was one of the best defenses.
That's like a top 5 defense
I was gonna
ever,
say
yeah.
of our generation.
That's
probably.
like a 86 Giants, 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens. That's like
2015 Broncos.
Yeah, that's
they're
that-
up.
that's
They're up
that
there.
level.
Carrying Peyton Manning to a Super Bowl.
Oh my
Holy
God. Well,
shit, dude.
The donkey Osweiler was the quarterback for half the season. Like that
Yeah,
show.
and he had his career game and like the deciding like home field.
That was
The snowy
against
night
the
overtime.
Patriots, right?
Yeah.
That was the worst day of my life. I
Gronk
literally-
gets hurt.
That was the worst day of my life because the night before I had Nolan and a bunch of my friends over and we drank in my parents' basement, and then
That was the night before?
yes, it was literally the worst day ever. I promise you, it was like November 27th or something, or November 26th.
Yeah, I
And-
believe you. I just didn't know.
No,
that
oh
was-
my God, bro! And we drank in my basement, and then my parents caught me, and I never heard the end of it.
That
and I
was,
grounded for like 6 months after that. So that was the night after I had to sit there in my room, grounded, and watch the Patriots lose in the snow to the Broncos. It was a great 24 hours for me.
Yeah,
that
and
was,
Gronk gets hurt on top of.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Andy got hurt in that game. Oh.
I remember C.J. Anderson running around
Yep.
the end zone.
Oh, C.J. Anderson.
Slides.
Yep.
C.J. Anderson. Yeah.
Pitch out left, and he just runs it in for like a 35-yard touchdown. Fuck out of here,
Yeah, I
man.
remember that too.
That was the worst day ever.
That decided home field advantage.
Black Saturday.
Yeah,
they like to call it.
and then they go and play.
Gostowski.
And then, I was gonna say then they don't play the Broncos in Mile High, and what happens in another important game? Gostowski misses an extra point or a field goal. What a shocker!
And they had to go for 2 at the end. Didn't get it.
And he had Gronk wide open.
Yep.
Just bitter Patriot fan things.
Yeah.
Even though we've won enough.
Von Miller got a second ring, and then
After that long diatribe,
Odell. I'm happy to see him get one. It's
honestly,
some guys on there, it's cool to see. One.
I don't know. Like I'm happy for Odell getting a ring, but like I don't feel like it changes anything for anybody that Odell got a ring, other than like Odell. I don't think of Odell any differently.
I guess I don't either. I mean,
I think everyone like knows that he's good enough to like be a Super Bowl champion, but I guess like it's like
I think people like kind of slept on him like this year and maybe even last year. But
I feel like we don't care about it now, but I feel like down the line, maybe like 4 or 5 years from now, people will be like, yeah, but Odell is a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like Odell will be like, stumbling around, like people will be like, yeah, but
he has a ring.
He has a ring.
Yeah.
Well, if he puts together some, more really good seasons where he has some more 1,000-yard seasons, like maybe like 2 or 3 more, catches like at least 7 or 8 touchdowns in each one. Those are really good seasons. Then you start looking at like, maybe he could go to the Hall of Fame with the kind of years he had in the Giants and a Super Bowl.
How do we feel about this whole like Hall of Fame thing?
Oh, with Stafford? Nah, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Well, it's around Stafford, but like about like the criteria to getting into the Super Bowl or the Hall of Fame.
I think Richard Sherman makes an excellent point because
I do too. I think
like
I
he
agree
said,
with him.
in the past 10 years, quarterbacks are passing more than ever. And if you look at the stats of like yardage and touchdowns and completions, the top 15 ever, you'll see names like Matt Ryan in there, guys like him. So
yeah. It's like, yeah, I don't.
Matt Stafford's top 10 in touchdowns. He's top 10 in passing yards. So are you saying if he got a Super Bowl somewhere, is he a Hall of Famer? Well, maybe more so because he has an MVP, but
Let's play our favorite game.
still,
This or that. Stafford, Phillip Rivers, who's more deserving of the Hall of Fame.
I don't know. It's so
It's
hard.
a really
because-
tough question.
It's so hard because I feel like well, Philip Rivers has been around longer, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I'm just saying.
He's.
I don't.
So you're saying if Rivers had a ring?
I don't think either of them.
So here's how I should phrase it. Watching those players, obviously you have to take some factor into accomplishments, passing yards, Super Bowls, etc., etc. You watch them. Do you say Hall of Fame, or who between the two would you say is more Hall of Fame worthy? Stafford, Rivers.
I feel like too many people get let into the Hall of Fame.
I do too. I would have to say Rivers on that though, just because he has much more playoff appearances and maybe a few more. A few more memorable moments.
This
but
is like Matt Stafford's like first real like run at it, right?
Yeah,
So-
he's still probably got some years left. So I mean, we'll see how things go. Maybe he does have some huge seasons where it's like, okay, you're saying I'm not a Hall of Famer now. I'm gonna go win MVP.
Stafford or Matt Ryan?
I think I'd
Matt
rather
Stafford.
have Matt Stafford, like as my quarterback.
Yeah, I love
I
Matt
don't
Stafford.
necessarily think either of them.
All right. To me, Matt Ryan is not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No, he's not.
No,
I
not
don't
even a little bit.
I don't care about the MVP. Matt Stafford, or I mean,
Fuck him.
Matt Ryan is
He
not
sucks.
not a Hall of Famer. Matt Stafford is like if this is the line, like he's like tiptoeing it. Like he is right there to me. I don't think he's.
Still got time left in his career. I'm
I
just
don't
saying
think
if
he's
you're
even
retired.
close. I really don't.
I do only because of the Super Bowl and the fact that like he is going to finish probably close to top 10 in passing yards, and it's going to get pushed back, and he's going to drop farther down and farther down the list as they play more seasons. I get it, obviously, but at the time you retire, if you're top 10 in passing yards and top 10 in passing touchdowns, and you have a Super Bowl ring, I would say it's kind of hard to say no to him.
I think it's going to be hard for him to get votes, I feel like.
So, say Stafford had an MVP but no Super Bowl. Would you be more or less likely to say he's a Hall of Famer if you did think he
I would
was
be
a Hall of
way
Famer?
less likely.
Less.
Yeah.
So that's the Matt Ryan.
Obviously, the Super Bowl ring kind of like.
That's the Matt Ryan case, then.
Yeah, obviously the Super Bowl kind of puts you over the top. I don't think Matt Ryan deserves to sniff a Hall of Fame ring or jacket.
No, he doesn't deserve to sniff a vote, a singular vote.
I mean, at no point did I ever think Matt Ryan was a top 10 quarterback.
And I don't think there's a lot of people out there saying that he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm not arguing for or against Matt Ryan. All I'm saying is these are kind of like the similar people I think of in the vein of Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
a Phillip Rivers,
absolutely.
an Eli Manning, a Matt Ryan.
Guys who are like competent quarterbacks,
Competent-
that have put up the stats.
who have put up the stats and have the ability on the
don't
right
necessarily
team
have the
to go and maybe win a Super Bowl.
Right? Because I feel like, Eli Manning definitely deserves it.
To go to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think so?
Nope. Don't care.
Why?
I'm just...
He'll make it though.
I know he will make it. His career record was 121 and 121. Like the seasons you guys didn't make the Super Bowl, you were bad. You were literally
Really
bad.
bad.
They were like 6 and 10.
They would go 6-10 every year. They didn't make the Super
But
Bowl.
what about his stats? I mean,
Or,
it's all
no,
about
whenever,
the individual.
anytime they weren't anytime they
How
weren't-
many times did he lead the league in interceptions? 3. I can't think of one good argument for Eli Manning. He beat the Patriots. Cool. He also had Michael Strahan, O.C. Uriman, and every other defensive player that the Giants had
those
those years.
teams still had problems.
So
There were big problems on some of those teams, especially that second one. Worst running game in the league by far.
I give Eli Manning all the credit in the world. He beat the Patriots twice. I don't think he's a Hall of Fame
The only
quarterback.
thing I give him credit
There's
for
there's no
is-
accolades there.
The only thing I
There's
give him
none.
credit
There's
for
no
is like,
substance. There's
he
nothing.
somehow won those Super Bowls.
With
Somehow.
those teams.
With the fate of God, dude.
It was the fate of God.
He's like the X Factor.
I wonder what it would have been like if we were like this age at 2007 and like we saw the Patriots in the Super Bowl. We're like, the Giants.
He'd be like, yo, hammer the Patriots, bro. That's what we'd be saying.
Oh my God. Then we come in here.
No,
I feel
but
like
wouldn't-
even
but would we be
Antonio-
talking about like 16-0 though? Like, are you gonna do it?
No, if they'd have
Yo,
to,
they're due. That's what we'd be saying. They're due for one. We'd be like, yo, they're due for one.
oh, that's literally what I would say too. That's the best.
What was
part.
the spread for that game? Must have been-
14 and a half, I want to say.
It was. Yeah, you're right. I think it was.
That's ridiculous.
They were 2 touchdown favorites in the Super Bowl
But
and
it's
lost
ridiculous
outright.
because they played each other in the last game of the
And it was a
season.
4-point game or a 3-point game.
3-point game.
Yeah.
The Giants were up by 12 in the fourth.
Yeah, the Patriots towards the end of the season played a couple close games.
Back to the original Hall of Fame argument. Those kind of quarterbacks, if they're going to get in, they should all get in. That's my point. So like if Eli gets in, then Stafford should get in, then Matt Ryan should get in, or keep them all out. I don't care either way, but there's definitely a border.
Nah. Eli and Stafford could get in without Matt Ryan. Absolutely.
What? Wait, what?
Do you like?
You could get in without Matt Ryan.
So like, if Eli gets in, then Stafford I think gets in. So like, Eli's probably
I
getting
think
in.
Stafford is way more likely
Because
to
both
get
of them
in.
are, kind of similar argument, accumulation of stats. Some pretty solid seasons in there, but for the most part, a lot of like 20 touchdown seasons that add up.
I guess Matt Ryan's only argument is he's won MVP one
Oh,
year.
that's the only argument.
Okay, let's throw Matt Ryan out. Okay,
Cam
we
Newton's
know
not
he's
making the Hall of Fame.
We
He won
know
an
he's
MVP.
not.
Well, yeah,
making
but
the Hall of
Cam
Fame.
Newton's like Matt Ryan's at least been around for a while. So like, who's like comparable to that? Like, who's been around the block for a little bit?
I don't know.
Like Russell Wilson's a Hall of
It's-
Famer,
yeah,
but like
no,
Russell
he is.
Wilson also has 2 Super Bowl rings. So I'm thinking of like,
He's got one.
He's got one Super Bowl.
oh, he only has one. Yeah, wow. He's
There
he's
might
still
be
a
an
Hall of
argument
Famer.
there.
That he might not be.
I
guess you could,
if
because
Aaron
he-
Rodgers is a Hall of Famer, then Russell Wilson's a Hall
I
of Famer.
agree. I think, to me, like Russell Wilson passes, the eye test as well as a Hall of Fame.
That's more or less what I was asking you
Did you
guys
just call him
about.
hot?
No, the
Yeah,
eye
he's
test.
so
Like,
hot.
He just called him
does
hot.
he have a fat ass? Like, that's all you have to.
I mean, yeah.
Does Russell Wilson have a fat ass?
He's cute.
I don't know.
God.
Yeah, but if he's a Hall of Famer, then Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. Or if Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer, then he's a Hall
Oh
of
yeah.
Famer.
Well, I mean, Aaron.
Right? Because, I mean,
I saw a tweet today, and he's not getting. I guess like they're not going through with their marriage. Whoever he's dating right now, Aaron Rodgers, and then the first comment
wasn't
was
he dating Danica Patrick?
no, he was, and
I
then
didn't
it's
know
like
that was done.
it's like some new actress or someone, and then the first comment was, and with the cancellation of this marriage, Aaron Rodgers is still ringless since February of 2011. I was like, damn.
What year did they win?
2011
10. No, they won in 2010.
or 2010, whatever. Fuck it. Still funny though.
That is funny. It would have been February of 2011, though.
Oh, true. You're actually right, you little cock.
2010 season.
Yeah, the
2010
2010, 2011 season, yeah. Or 20...
No, just 2010.
Who
season.
cares? All right. Anyway.
No, just...
No. Just no one's like, listen to me. For a minute.
Moving,
He's like, let me explain.
moving on. What's our takeaway from this NFL season? What do we have to digest?
I liked how like wide open it was. Obviously, with two
So
four
much
seeds,
fun.
with 2 4 seeds making the Super Bowl, obviously there's some sort of
Yeah,
parity
before,
going on.
before the playoffs started, who had Bengals Rams in the Super Bowl?
Nobody.
Who had the Bengals in the Super Bowl? Nobody. Who had the Rams in the Super Bowl? I would say probably like a decent amount of people, but not a lot.
Yeah, but not more than the Packers or Bucks.
Oh no, the Packers and the Bucks were easily way more chosen than the Rams were. But I don't know. Just the parity is fantastic.
yeah, and I think it's good for the league. A lot of people think it's bad.
100%.
A lot of people think it's bad, but I mean that just means you have a lot of really good teams.
Why would anybody think that's bad?
The only thing that I think it hurts is the bad teams, because the bad teams look really bad,
They
but
do.
then all the
bad
good teams
look
are
really,
like
really bad.
right there. But it's just like, I mean, you can't really fault. It's like just run a better organization. Like, you know what I mean? It's like what are they gonna do? Like give you like what are we gonna do?
Well, yeah. Now with
Give you more draft picks?
So
like,
now
no.
with no more Brady, the NFC is like incredibly wide open. It's nuts how wide open the NFC is now.
That's true. I mean, obviously the Bucks go from top to bottom now. I mean, obviously
If they lose a lot of their free agents, yeah.
I mean, I think
Just
they
don't-
will.
I mean, the
excellent
Rams
team.
are
The Rams
are the favorite in the
They
NFC.
should be the favorite. But the like the odds that come out like a year before the next Super Bowl had the Chiefs and Bills both at like plus
Yeah,
700.
I believe that.
Yeah, obviously the Chiefs
I mean, all
and
the-
Bills are like
All
the staples
all
right
the
now.
juggernauts are in the AFC right now. Chiefs, Bills. I mean, Bengals. I wouldn't call it juggernaut, but they made the Super Bowl. Like,
Depends on what they do this offseason.
I don't think they're going anywhere. Maybe I mean
Dude,
that's
they have the fourth.
it's a really tough
They have the
division.
fourth
though.
highest
Tennessee.
cap space right now. The Bengals do.
I'm all set with Tennessee at this point.
Bengals
They said
have-
they don't want to
Bengals
move
have
on
a
from
lot
Ryan
of-
Tannehill. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you're okay with that.
So the Bengals can make some moves. They have a lot of cap space. Obviously, they're probably gonna pay somebody.
They're just gonna. They better spam O line, or I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, spam O line for sure, dude. What they have to.
Just spawning offensive line in Cincinnati, dude.
Like,
they have to.
The draft, offensive lineman. Free agency.
No, I
offensive
literally
linemen.
saw a fake mock draft and it was Cincinnati and it was just all tackles and guards. Like
That's all you need.
That's all they
What
need.
else do you need right now? Maybe another corner and
Yeah, maybe get some
another
depth in the
decent
back.
pass rusher. But their D line isn't that bad.
if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl, who wins that game? I know this is a stupid hypothetical, but I'm curious.
What Chiefs? And
Oh, I have no
Chiefs,
idea. They're
Rams.
both extremely good teams.
the Chiefs make it.
If the Chiefs made it instead of the Bengals, do the Chiefs beat the Rams? I say yes.
I think the Chiefs win. Yeah.
I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts are about that.
Because the Rams wanted to lose that game really bad. They wanted to do exactly what the Chiefs did. They really did.
Chiefs would probably be the smart pick.
But the Rams would still win.
I don't know. It's tough to say. I feel like I probably would have picked the Rams because I didn't give a clear pick last week. I don't think I picked a team to win. No. I said Bengals win.
I think both you said Bengals. I think you both said no. I
I
think
said Rams, but I thought the Rams.
I don't know,
were gonna-
'cause
I took Rams -4 because I figured that they would kill them.
Oh.
Honestly, but
the Rams. Like if I were to look at the Chiefs and Rams as a matchup like a month ago, I'm not going. The Rams can't beat them. Or the Rams can't go to Arrowhead and beat them. I think just with the talent that's all there, they're more than capable of beating the Chiefs.
next year's Super Bowl is at Arrowhead.
where is it? Is it Vegas next year?
I think
I
it's
think
Vegas.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Raiders make it. They're
No,
about to.
I'd say I'd say the Rams win the game. Pass rush.
No, it's not Vegas. Where is it? Is it? Oh no,
it
it's
was
Arizona. It's Arizona then
Oh
Vegas.
yeah, that's
Oh,
hosted
okay.
some.
The Cardinals
good-
are not making. The
That's
Super Bowl.
hosted some good Super.
How about all
Bowls.
that Kyler Murray stuff?
What is good with him?
Is he leaving?
He can't leave.
There's no way he's
No,
leaving.
he's not gonna leave.
But why is he pitching a fit?
I don't know.
Because Cliff Kingsbury is his coach.
Yeah, he sucks. They say like he's been doing.
he sucks.
Yeah, he sucks. They said he's
Yeah,
been
but I
doing
mean,
a
what
lot
are
of finger pointing but like
But what are they gonna
it
do?
happens with
Fire him,
quarterbacks.
dude? Shouldn't you like adapt and like work with the guy?
That would be the role.
Why you gotta sit here and play bitch? It's like you guys had a really
Yeah,
good
no.
season.
If
like,
you guys like come up short again next year and don't go as far as you want to go, then
like, bro,
then
they,
bitch.
they probably played like 3 really bad games, and one of them just happened to be in the playoffs. It's like, bro, if they win that game, like
Well, they
can
also
make-
lost
you're
to the
absolutely
Super Bowl
right.
champions. Like,
Yeah, like I don't think there's any shame in that. It's like, yeah, you played a bad game, but at the same time, you guys had a really good season.
the Rams were pretty damn resilient this postseason.
They peaked at the right time.
I mean, the Cardinals game was nothing. They just stomped all over them. But that Buccaneers game, like they tried giving it away, and then somehow they pulled that one out. And that 49ers game, they really should have lost, and they somehow pulled that one out. So I don't know
Why
how.
did every game they played, they really wanted to lose?
Yeah, no, they were
they really
they
wanted
were
to give it
dying
away.
to lose, and then they were like, "No, we're actually gonna win this one." Sorry, like
They did that every game. That's so funny.
Man, it would have been so cool like if the Rams lose that game to the Bucks though. It would have been so cool to have Burrow and Brady. Super Bowl.
Burrow Brady's. No, then the Bengals definitely would have won, and then it would have been like Tom would have been like, "Oh, Joe."
I know. I feel like if they made it to the Super Bowl, they're winning.
If Brady
Brady
made
goes out on top.
Yeah, no.
like,
If Brady goes to the Super Bowl, he's winning.
he would have been. I know this is all hypothetical, but 8 for 10, or 8 for 11. No, yeah, 8 for 11. He would have been. That's ridiculous in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Crazy.
7 for 10 is pretty ridiculous.
7 for 10 is disgusting. Like that's disgusting.
like 7 and
Just
3 in
10
Super Bowls.
10 alone is disgusting. You could go 0 for 10. I mean, that would be bad, but like you could go 0 for 10.
No, if you go
More
over,
Super Bowl
if you go over
appearances
10,
than
that's
any
bad.
team.
No, that's bad.
huh?
More Super Bowl appearances than any team.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous stat. Those are like I can't wait for like a couple years from now when we like look back and we look at all the stats that Brady has. That's just ridiculous.
He's
stats.
literally Bill Russell, and all of our kids are gonna be like, "What? He wasn't even that good, man." Like,
Yeah, like we talk shit about Bill Russell.
yeah, Bill Russell. We're just like he played against plumbers. Like we don't care. It was like a different time. Like our kids are gonna be like, it doesn't matter. They
played
suck.
against fucking union
Yeah.
factory workers, dude.
They literally got off of like plumbing a toilet at the factory, and we're just like, oh yeah,
Sorry,
no.
boss.
Now I have
Gotta
to
go play Bill Russell
I gotta go
tonight.
guard him now. Like,
Gotta go to
Yeah,
the
I
garden
have
and
to
play
go get
Bill
blocked
Russell.
9 times tonight.
I don't have too many more takeaways. I mean, overall, I had a good time watching that game, and it was just an enjoyable Super Bowl, honestly.
Props galore. Blue Gatorade.
Blue
Yeah, what's
Gatorade.
Blue Gatorade?
Did you say blue?
No, I said purple because it was the longest odds.
Yeah, I said purple too.
I said green.
It's yellow.
Green, yellow. Oh god, we're gonna do this again.
Grello.
I'm not doing this again.
Grello.
Any other thoughts NFL wise?
Not at the moment. I'm excited for next year.
Not at the moment.
I mean, I'm excited about all these like coaching moves, and like I'm excited to see how this offseason shakes out.
We should do a recap of our preseason picks. Maybe not next week, but at some point. Just to
We'll have to go back and check.
kind of see how we
That's
did.
gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Dude. The only one I remember is that I said the Giants would win 10 games.
I said the Giants.
We all said the Giants are going to be good.
I said two things. I said the Giants were the most talented team in the NFC East, and they would win 10 games and win the division. Totally wrong. And I said the Vikings were allowed to win the NFC North. No.
I think I picked the
You
Giants
also
to go
said
9-8.
Green Bay was gonna win the Super Bowl.
Not at the time.
No, not in the beginning.
I
But-
can't remember who we picked at the beginning of the year.
I had San Fran.
Because I wouldn't have picked Green Bay at the beginning of the year.
I remember picking Bucks Patriots, but I think that was in the like.
You picked that in the middle of the year. Hold on. I had San Fran and not Cleveland. San Fran and Buffalo. That was my pick.
I probably had Chiefs.
You had Chiefs Bucks. You had a rematch. I'm pretty sure.
I think I had the Bills in there. Did I?
You had I don't think you had the Bills. You had Chiefs Rams. Maybe was your pick.
Might have been.
I think it was Chiefs Rams.
Yeah, you might have picked the Rams.
I was high on the Rams at the beginning of the year.
I
I
think
picked them to win the division. You guys were like, what?
I think you had Chiefs and some random team, and the Rams sound right to me. So I think that was your preseason Super Bowl pick. So props to you. You don't want it too.
We think.
We think.
We think.
We think. Flashback. We have to go back.
NBA we kind of talked about a little bit last week. Nothing really. I mean, the Celtics are on a tear, but nothing.
Which is interesting.
They just came out of nowhere and just were like, "Oh yeah, we're the best team in the East."
I
now.
think they could beat. They could definitely beat the Sixers in the playoffs. They own the Sixers in the playoffs.
Well, Al Horford is Joel Embiid's father. Like,
yes, he is.
every time they play, he just babies him.
I
And it
think
makes
they-
no sense.
If Kyrie ends up playing every day,
He won't
They-
though.
He won't.
he won't. But if they do, they could win it all, and they probably.
I don't like the Nets.
If he did that
The
from the
Celtics,
start, they could.
but the Celtics would beat them in the playoffs.
I think
if
the
they-
Heat. I think the Heat are the best team.
If
in
the Heat are
East.
really good,
Yeah, people.
The
I think
Sixers-
people are paying attention to the Celtics right now, and they're forgetting how good the Heat
the
are.
Sixers are not going to the finals. They will not make the finals.
I know they're playing the Nets in some point in the playoffs. Like that, it's the NBA that
I
has
really
to
do.
happen.
Yeah,
think
and
the
Harden's
Heat
gonna
could make
choke.
it back.
It'll go to a game 7. I don't know what happens after that.
or Harden will come up short in a big moment.
Definitely.
Little Heat and Warriors action finals.
I would love that.
It'd be
Heat
a really
Warriors
good
finals
finals.
would be great.
That'd be good.
Phenomenal.
Outstanding.
I think the Suns are making it.
Oh, you think they're going back? I was gonna say I don't think they're gonna make it.
It's between the Suns and the Warriors, and I just watch the Suns. Every time I watch the Suns,
when
they-
Steph plays.
they just score every time. It's absurd. Chris Paul gets them in the right set, in the right play.
DeAndre Ayton's so good.
If they miss a shot, DeAndre Ayton is just there for an offensive rebound. Like
He's so good.
that team is built so perfectly, it's not even funny. I mean, so are the Warriors, but the Suns are
that
just
Western
like
Conference Championship is gonna be sick.
I don't see any
Those
other
teams are just gonna be
Yeah.
running.
I
up
don't
and down
see
the
any
floor.
other way it's not Warriors Suns.
But Steph owns Chris.
It
Paul
has to be.
playoffs.
There's no way it's
Steph
not.
Curry does indeed own Chris Paul. You want to talk about someone's father? Steph Curry is Chris Paul's father. Like, teach him to school every day.
So is that the only reason they made the finals last year? Because Steph wasn't there.
No, that's the only reason.
He didn't have to go through Steph.
Yep.
No, when the playoffs time comes around, Steph is going off.
Oh yeah, he is.
What
No,
about
he's playing. No, he's playing so bad lately. I know we talked about this. But no,
He's setting it up for the playoffs.
yeah, no.
though.
Like in April, he's gonna get really hot, and then the playoffs, he's gonna be like Steph Curry, bang for 3. Like,
Maybe
Bang!
probably not the finals this year. The Grizzlies are really good.
the Grizzlies are honestly,
Excellent.
they could make like the conference finals.
Oh, I was gonna say they could absolutely make the conference.
I don't think they
could-
can make the
could-
final. The
I
finals
think
would
they could
be
beat the Suns.
the finals would be very.
That's a stretch.
yeah.
A lot of the
That's
times
kinda how
I feel like
about Chicago.
I feel like we don't always get the conference final championship that we expect in the NBA. It's always like
One
that.
weird team.
It's always like that 1 in the 3 or the 2 in the 3 or something like that.
We didn't even say anything about Chicago and Chicago's.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's comparable
Very
to
quietly.
Memphis.
The East is stacked, bro, and the East is never like this.
Yeah,
Like,
the East is
Milwaukee,
normally,
we didn't say a word about Milwaukee either.
Oh, they
Yeah.
could go back.
because everyone's like, "Oh, well, Milwaukee." They're always just Milwaukee. It's
Yeah.
like, but they're still really good.
Milwaukee, Miami, Brooklyn, Philly, Boston,
Chicago.
Chicago. Was there another team I didn't name? But like those teams right there, like
They're
That's
Orlando
six.
Magic.
That's 6 teams in the East that could all beat each other in a playoff series.
easily. Like any of those teams could beat any of like if the Celtics beat the Nets in a playoff series,
Oh,
it would be surprising, but you'd be like, oh yeah, like they can do that. Like that's their potential.
The Celtics might do a little bit more in the playoffs this year than they have been.
I don't know.
Their defense. They're on a defensive tirade.
Defense wins championships.
And then you also too can't forget about like the white horses in the West, like Utah and Denver.
Oh,
Utah's never making a finals.
What's his face? Oh no, they're not.
Denver could.
But they always make noise, and it's like
They always win like a round or like maybe 2, and then they just shart their pants. I hate Utah. Denver maybe, but they need Jamal back. If they get Jamal back, then their team is definitely like a powerhouse. I like Denver actually.
So the Celtics have 2. This other guy reminds me of Marcus Smart. I forget his freaking name.
yeah, Marcus Smart's out. I think tonight. Same with Williams.
Who are they playing?
The Pistons.
The Pistons. It doesn't matter.
Why'd they trade
14 and a
Why'd
half
they trade back
spread?
for Daniel Tice?
I don't know, but I hate Daniel Tice, bro. I hate him. I watch him and he's just
The Celtics love guys like
Derek
that, though.
White is what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, Derek
That's like
White.
an excellent player.
Derek White was plus 48 last night, plus
Wow.
minus, or plus 47 or something like
That's
that.
insane.
He's undefeated since he's joined the team. So now they'll lose
he's
tonight.
He's like the X Factor.
He is the X Factor.
Why are they like? It's just so random that they're making like a run like this.
I don't know. They do this every year, though. I feel like they always go on like a nice little like 10-game win streak at some point, and they're like, "Oh, everyone's like the Celtics." Oh,
The Celtics,
The
guys,
Celtics.
don't forget about the Celtics.
Any NHL thoughts? We don't really talk too much NHL, but
Bruins.
No, Bruins are in trouble for sure. I think they got a good point last night from the Rangers going into a shootout.
Edmonton got the new coach bump.
They get the new coach bump. I think it's too far gone for them right now. Calgary is
What a collapse.
the moves that Calgary just made. They might make the finals.
Can Edmonton make the playoffs or no?
I think they can make the playoffs, but it'd be like
I hope they
it'd be
do.
like a final
But like, what the
spot.
fuck is wrong with them? What's wrong
They're
with
cursed.
Edmonton
At this
year
point, they're
after
just
year?
cursed.
That doesn't make sense.
You want to know
They
what
have
I
the
think
best
it is?
player in the league, and
Their fan base is really toxic, and I think.
oh,
that
it's
they're
very
cursed.
toxic. But they have 2 of the best players in hockey.
It's
and
the
what
same thing
hell
with
is
So it's
going on?
Toronto. Yeah, I was gonna say
But
that.
it's just like that's what breeds like the curse is like the toxicity.
Yeah.
If you have a toxic fan base, which Boston tiptoes on a toxic fan base. They're like passionate and they really care, and like sometimes it goes overboard, but like they know how to.
They know how to reel it back in, yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, guys, we just gotta remember this is Boston. Like we don't care.
So, did you say Calgary is the favorite in your mind right now?
Well, with the move, so they're already like really hot right now. They have probably the most depth I've seen out of any team. So they're kind of like building almost like how Tampa Bay is built.
Any thoughts on Calgary, Antonio?
They just got tied to Foley.
Just the city, not like the
just the
team.
city.
Yeah, just Calgary in general.
All up
in
in the
Alberta,
Great White,
yeah.
the Great White North up there.
Oh, I love Calgary. It's just a beautiful city.
Calgary's deep up there, dude.
Yeah.
It is. That's way up there.
It's like
in,
way far away.
good old Alberta. I think it's in Alberta.
Calgary.
Calgary who?
It's either in Alberta or Saskatchewan. I don't
No.
know.
No, it's not in Saskatchewan.
In the little Stanley Cup, Calgary who? Calgary Rangers?
Not
No, not the Rangers. Not even a little bit.
the Rangers. Not the Leafs.
So the Lightning.
I guess I
I don't know. It's
I
kinda
hate
wide
the
open right
Lightning,
now.
but I'd still rather see them win the cup than the Leafs win the cup.
I would never want to see either of them win the cup.
in my mind, I like.
I love the curse.
I think Toronto's really good this year, and I might actually like ride them this year because I feel like they're one of those teams that is just due. Like they are just due. I know, like every year
there's so many good teams in the East, dude. Like Washington is
I was
starting
gonna
to
say
play
the Caps
well.
are still there and extremely capable.
Pittsburgh has like really been making a run.
Pittsburgh is a
lately.
team that like I could see coming out of nowhere, and that's just like, oh, Pittsburgh's in the Stanley Cup final.
Obviously, the Rangers are really good. They'll probably make
Fuck
the
them,
playoffs. The Rangers just have really good goaltending, which,
That's what you need.
yeah, it's what you need.
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean by that though? Because like they have what's his face? They have Zibanejad and Chris Kreider, and they have a whole bunch of
Yeah,
people.
no, they're built.
I think they have a really good team actually.
Yeah, and they have Adam Fox, who isn't like a good defensive guy, but I mean, he's just like, but that's the way the NHL's moving. It's like you don't really need those big guys anymore. If you have those small like guys that can fly and just produce offensively, it's almost like how the Warriors were in like 2015.
Yeah, the days of Char are gone.
Well, I was saying like the Warriors, like how they just like were like, we're just gonna score more points than you.
Oh no, I did that, but like the days of like a big old lunky like Serbian defenseman are
But
gone.
it's weird though because they teeter that line. It's like, okay, but like you need these big guys sometimes, like just to shut people down, to shut down the skill players on the other team.
Yeah,
It's like you need someone to fucking
Go
body
hit
up
'em.
Panarin or fucking Chris Kreider, or, Patrick Kane or like any of these guys that are just so good.
Antonio wants to say something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, hey, fuck the Canes. They're not gonna do anything. I hate the Hurricanes. I can never root for them.
They're probably gonna make it to the the Eastern Conference Finals, I would assume.
Almost likely, but fuck them.
But they probably will choke it again.
Florida?
Florida's really good.
They played tonight. Florida, Carolina.
That should be a good game. Is it gonna be on at like 7 probably?
Over.
Is it okay? Is it 6? Look it up. If it started at
It's
6,
on at 7:30.
if it started at 6 and it's 6.5,
It's
right
6.5,
now.
and it's still at 6.5.
So it started at 6.5.
Started at 6.5, and it's still at 6.5.
Then no.
No.
Oh, Calgary.
Colorado. There's a good
I like Colorado.
Good slate of games.
Minnesota, Winnipeg.
I forgot about Minnesota. Minnesota's pretty good too. They're like the
Florida,
dark horse.
Florida, Carolina. That's a really good game, and that's on TNT. Anaheim, Calgary. That's all right.
I mean, Anaheim too. I mean, Anaheim is like they're like Montreal of last year. I don't think they can make that run because they don't have a Carey Price.
Don't think Colorado can get there?
Colorado, because they just, dude. Obviously Colorado, but if the Western Conference Final is Colorado versus Calgary, we're in for a fucking treat.
Colorado, Vegas is that town.
I'd really like to see Colorado make it because I've liked them a lot the past few years. And if they made
Colorado
the
is
finals.
definitely the favorite right now.
I want them to at least make it.
What over?
Vegas, Colorado over.
I
It's
love
in
a good.
Vegas.
I love a good
It's
Vegas.
in Vegas.
over,
I know
dude.
that. I knew that's all I had to say.
Anytime Vegas plays in Vegas, I just like want to hit the over.
Ooh, and it opened at 6.
And it's 6.5.
It's a 6.5 right now. Smash. You heard him.
Yeah.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Yeah, if we said it on the podcast, though, no, it's not going to happen. But-
No, we said it on the podcast, and then everyone will listen tomorrow, and then it will happen
Oh, good. Okay.
once it's like
Maybe I'll
published.
bet some hockey tonight.
All right.
Dude,
We'll
I
come
mean-
up with something. I'll give you $10 anyway.
I was
love,
gonna say I won money on the
Why'd you
Super
say
Bowl anyway.
no one fucked me? Just the whole time I thought I won $10 off of you. That's why I said in the group chat I was even.
I don't know.
No, I thought you said fuck you, Antonio.
I was
I
saying
did-
like yes, let's go. Fuck you,
I did
Antonio.
thought you agreed with me though about Tails.
I thought he was saying tails hit because I did not watch the coin toss. So I thought you were saying tails check, meaning like I won. Like
I mean, maybe was it? I thought it was Tails.
well, why'd you say tails with the check mark next to it?
Because I
None
thought it
of
was
us
Tails.
knew.
Well, it was
going on,
it was
apparently.
heads.
It was heads. I must have just had too many hits. Of the
Yeah.
pen. I literally sat here and watched it. Maybe I was like on my phone when they called it, and I thought he said Tails.
As soon as I saw tails from his text, I'm like, oh cool, like I already won $10. And then the fucking
so then I fucked you. Then I'm sorry.
yeah, you fucked me. So you owe Antonio $10 for me now.
Oh, I don't think that's how it works because you owe me 10.
Fuck. If I split a $20 bill in half, do you each get 10? Is that how it works? If I just rip it and hand you each a half?
I don't know.
We could try it.
We could try it. We just go to the store and like pay. Like, sir, this is cut in half. It's like, yeah, it's 10.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, this is 10. You guys not know how to barter?
We're getting off the rails.
Are we?
A little bit.
Anything else we want to talk about?
Any, like, curling or Winter Olympic thoughts?
Fuck the Winter Olympics. I don't care.
Viewership's down 40% for the Winter
Bro,
Olympics.
no. Okay, so let's talk about this.
Normally, it's my favorite. I like the Winter Olympics
More than the
so
summer?
much better than the summer.
You're a
something-
crackhead. No, you're a
If
crackhead.
there were pros playing in the hockey tournament, 100%. But that's not the case. But I love watching.
I almost
the
like it more
snowboarding.
that there's not pros playing.
I love the skiing. I like that stuff.
Bro, the,
Some
I do like the half
Winter
pipe, the snowboard
Olympics,
half pipe.
the Winter Olympics are so objectively worse than the Summer
Well,
Olympics.
yeah, I don't know what the luge is.
Let's see who can
Like,
slide down a
what's-
hill faster.
Literally, I watched some event and it was literally like some guy flat on a board head first, just going like zigzagging through ice.
Yeah, some of them
it's
are
like,
stupid,
bro,
but,
what?
like,
Like, I get you worked your whole life for this, but what kind of sport is this?
The main events to me are better than the summer Olympic
I
ones,
hate that
but-
I hate that the events are like your biggest stage is the Winter Olympics. It's like no one cares for 4 years, and then I'm just supposed to care all of a sudden.
I
It's
know.
like, but it's only that I don't like. But there are some winter like ones that I like. Like I do like the bobsled and shit. Like I enjoy watching it, but it's just like I don't care. You know, I don't give a shit. who
Your
wins.
favorite Olympic event, Joe?
hockey.
I'm saying not winter. Like I'm saying either winter or summer. It doesn't matter.
The biathlon with like the cross country skiing, and they shoot the targets. Love that shit.
Mine's the javelin throw.
Okay, I like that. Yeah,
Hockey.
Hockey still. I
But like
respect
if
it.
the pros were playing, dude,
because
that's
that's
what,
like okay. That's
that's
like
what makes it.
How about we
Because that
make
shit's so tense.
swimming a winter sport?
Swimming is excellent. I forgot about swimming.
Swimming a winter sport, but then outdoor swimming a summer sport.
but like why? Then you have swimming in both.
Swim
But
in
like a
lake or something.
but like a different kind of swimming.
Yeah, you're swimming in like a lake or something. Like
yeah, like something.
Swimming in a lake.
Yeah, like something crazy.
Okay.
Or like we dump you in the Atlantic and you got to like fight your way out.
a survival fight.
Water
to the death.
polo's sick.
Water
Water
polo
polo
is
is
sick.
sick.
I don't know how people
And
don't
that
drown.
must be so hard.
You're literally sitting there just like this for an
Oh, they're so
An
strong.
hour.
They're so
strong.
Dude, their cores must be.
I was gonna
insane.
say the core is ridiculous.
Pause.
But no, like I just like. I'm not surprised the viewership is down. I'm really
Fuck
not.
the Winter Olympics. I've never
No
cared
one
about the Winter
cares,
Olympics.
dude. That's the thing. Like,
Give me the Summer Olympics every 2 years.
With
How about
every-
that?
Also, what? It's in Beijing and it was in Sochi last time.
Yeah.
it's like 60 in those places. It doesn't snow
and
in
and
Sochi.
and isn't it on at like disgusting times? Like
oh, it's not
like,
terrible times.
but
Put it
they-
in like
they
an
usually,
actual.
it's usually like a rebroadcast. Like,
What happened to putting it in a place like Lake Placid, where it's like you have everything?
money.
Put it in like
I know.
Money.
Put it in like Antarctica or something.
Yeah, why
Why
not?
can't we do that?
Why not?
Right?
Build some shit down there, and then always have
Put
it
it
down
somewhere
there.
sick in
That way, there's
Canada
no
or something.
country bias. You know what I mean? Everyone take a trip down to
Yeah,
Antarctica.
bring it to Canada.
Country home.
Take me home.
You can do like the southern part of Argentina. You know, that works.
I don't know. It's just well.
Pretty
I
cold
mean,
there.
our winters is their summer, so you can't do that.
Oh,
You forgot how the globe works.
I did.
On that note,
But it's just like, and I think there's too many events too. There's way too many.
Oh, I agree.
well, yeah, it's like skiing down a hill, snowboarding down a hill, then like
In
Doing
all the
jumps.
things,
a variation of skiing and snowboarding.
All the
down
things
hill.
I
Those
like-
I like the skiing and snowboarding. I like the jumps and I like all that shit.
but
I
all
like
the
half
things I
pipe.
like about the Winter Olympics is shit I can watch in the X Games.
You know what? Fuck the X Games.
But they have all the same shit. They have
What?
the skiing. They
Yeah,
have
but
the
I don't need to
snowboarding.
watch that every year.
What? I mean, it's not. It's. I think it's on like multiple times a year. They have like multiple events now.
They did in the Summer Olympics. They did add skateboarding, and that was sick.
But I can watch that in the X Games, and it's like better, because like the talent is better. They don't have to worry about picking and choosing from each country.
Ah.
I don't know. I just like. I think America's infatuation with the Olympics is like basement. We have so much other shit.
Yeah, what is there to fucking sit there and like we have?
Bro,
It's
you're-
because they only watch soccer anywhere else, so they're like, "Wow, other sports. That's cool."
Yeah, it's like, why can't you guys just watch the NFL? Just watch the NFL.
Why can't you watch more than soccer's outstanding? Why can't
Bro,
you
it
just
is
watch more than that?
2022. You guys can like watch it. If Sal can get on his computer and watch Red Zone, so can you. It's like, dude, like they have internet over there. Oh, how do we feel about the NFL going to Germany? Is it Germany?
Yeah,
right?
it's Munich.
That's cool. I like it.
I liked expansion. I don't like it overdone though, because I don't want it affecting like the regular season too much. I don't want like, I don't know, whatever team going out there in week 8 and then having to play in week 9. Like that shit doesn't make sense. But
I just feel bad for the players, dude. I would
Yeah.
that sucks.
you know it's gonna be shit teams like the Jaguars and like whoever going out there just to play those games.
So who's gonna become like the Jaguars are the king of London?
Who's like a German team? Like who feels like a German team? Like
I don't know.
Like the Bears feel like a German team. Like
I was gonna say if the Steelers weren't good, they would be.
yeah, like a team like that, like a hard nosed, like angry team, like the Vikings are
I
a
was
German
gonna say
team.
Vikings.
Yeah, like someone like that. That would be like the official German team in my mind.
Yeah, or the Raiders. Like back when they were like
The Raiders.
the Raiders. Not anymore. They're the Raiders.
I need an obligatory.
Raiders.
I need an obligatory Seattle, just because I need to hear it.
Sheetle.
It just gets me every time. I love hearing that.
All right. Are we good, gentlemen?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you all.
Over and out.
That's what I do.